What's up, guys? I'm filming another video on the same day. This is like my only day I can do all this, so I know I'm still wearing the same clothes, but by the way, something I need to put. I just noticed this now after filming these videos. If you're watching this will be my third video for the week. I am wearing a Star Wars shirt. I have like a whole Mandalorian thing. I did talk about how fantasy does not revolve around me anymore. I still have nostalgic thoughts about certain things, okay? But I'm not gonna get this shirt. I just wear when I go hiking and stuff, right? I still have old shirts. I still have like a Halo shirt that I wore. Like I still have it at home because it's comfortable just to kind of wear, right? Um, but again, I'm not bashing like fantasy, but I was trying to make a point in that video, right? But I haven't even watched the new Star Wars movie. I don't think just I don't get dopamine anymore from that stuff. All right, so anyway, I just want to clear that up. Going, why is this guy wearing a? He says he doesn't like fantasy, but he's wearing a Star Wars shirt. It says the Mandalorian Grogu. I still have shirts, but I'm just making a point that I still wear it because I have clothes and it's just comfortable for me to wear. And I still do have some fond memories with it, but again, nostalgia. Um, Another thing I want to talk about, I talked about addictions, and I'm going to talk about one addiction because this could be several videos. I'm going to try to make this one a lot shorter because it's just really talking about one thing, but I used to be a binge drinker. So I used to drink. I also was around a lot of the wrong people growing up. I don't hate these people. I wish them all the best, but they're not people I am simply happy to be, that I was happy to be around. But also too, I was younger, right, and they were younger too, and also just my old awareness of things and my own insecurities were being reflected through them. And again, that's what I say. Like, don't live in the past. Don't be like, God, why was I friends with that person for so many years? It's okay. Like now you know, right? Don't be thinking bad thoughts. Remember, we're all one conscious. We're all one mind. I don't care if it's some ex-boyfriend you had, some ex-girlfriend you had, right? It is what it is. Just move on, and if you want to revise the whole story, go under theta waves with the power of you and do that. You'll feel a lot better. But guys, binge drinking. When I was doing my video game addiction for many, many years, been playing video games when I was like 5. I had to deal I would drink, not every day, right? It started, I used to drink like nothing but Coca-Cola. I remember with like playing Fallout. They have something called, you guys know the game Fallout, they have something called Nuka-Cola, which is a knockoff of Coca-Cola. So I used to drink, like used to get so immersed into these video games, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna have Coca-Cola as I'm playing, right? Because I went to the Nuka-Cola market, whatever they call it, the grocery store that's like in the game. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. It's just some prop item that I just drank to immerse myself into this post-apocalyptic world. It was, like I said, video games, guys, were like such an escapism for me. And they still are to a lot of people, and that's the thing. There's definitely a lot I can still talk about video games, but I used to drink because it would also help me just stay more focused in the game. And I always liked having a buzz. I wasn't drunk all the time, but I know that I could have probably just done better without having a drink. I got to switch my arm because I've been doing so many videos of this. Hang on. Sorry, one second. There we go. Hope you guys got some ASMR from that. ASMR, that's actually a good video. I should talk about that in another video. That's something that just relaxes me. But binge drinking, I would be, I just drank something to keep me comfort. But I remember even when I went to parties and things like that. So I got to hang out with a lot of older people growing up, right? I have an older brother, and he used to have a lot of people come over to our house and things. So I got to be around older people that were older than me by like 5 years, 5 to 6 years. So I was like, this is so cool. And always my whole life, it's always been easy for me to talk to people older than me. People that are younger than me, it's kind of like, I don't know. I just can't do it as much. Obviously, if they're like a little kid or something, okay, that's different. But as them being older, it was like this impression I had, like, I'm one of the cool kids now, right? So I remember I'd be playing other video games with people. I remember I thought it was so cool because I'd be playing one of my favorite video games was Halo Combat Evolved, and they're remaking that game right now. And I was talking about, I think in my last video, like awareness. I quit video games, but all these video games are being remade right now. That's another video I can talk about some other time, but this is about my binge drinking. So I'd be drinking alcohol with them, and they'd be like, "Hey man, have another drink." Another thing was too, I was also being used. They weren't really my friends. I was just their entertainment. I was their source of entertainment. And I knew about that for so long in my head. Like something was just didn't seem right. I'd be like, I remember I kind of was testing the reality I was in. It's like, I'm so happy you guys are my friends. And I remember everyone went super quiet. And I was like, in my head, like, oh, why are they super quiet? Oh, it's probably because they just think that I'm, maybe I just make up crap. But they really did not they just did not care. I mean, obviously they were on their best behavior because they're at my brother's house. We used to have, my brother used to have everyone was obviously legal enough, but we used to have like a bar at our house, just for friends. Like everyone has a bar in their house, like either in their basement. But my brother had a bar in his room, so everyone used to hang out there. And also, too, people were using my brother as well. So my brother had a space where they could all, like, if let's say the weather was really bad. I remember there was no Uber back then, just taxis or stuff for someone to drive you. Everybody would just come to our house, and my brother had a really good bar. It was called the Goblet, and we used to all drink there and stuff. All right, and I started drinking. I think everyone's had a sip of alcohol when they weren't supposed to have it, but I remember like on my grade graduation, I think I had like a cooler or something like that. But again, I that's kind of what started my gradual addiction, especially being around people, right? Like that are older, and also just a social thing. What do? You have a beer or you drink with somebody. And I was one of those people like, oh my God, if I don't have a beer in my hand or whatever, I'm not cool, right? So that peer pressure got worse as I got older and such. And then it got even worse when I stopped really talking to a lot of people. I went through a whole cycle where a lot of people I realized, like I went through a spiritual awakening, which that's going to be a whole other series of videos I'll talk about on another topic on another time. But drinking has always been back and forth. So I drink, by the way, right now, but I drink casually. I don't drink to get drunk. I do like to get a buzz, but it's funny now. I can drink alone, but something's changing about me, and it's not a bad thing. I really think I'm going to only start drinking now when I'm with somebody. And here's the thing. I don't usually, like, I'll go out to a place, one of my favorite restaurants where I go to. It's like a pub mixed with a restaurant. And I usually go by myself. I talk to some of the people that work there and such. And it's nice, it's nice to get out, you meet people and things like that. But I don't like drinking on my own anymore. And I think I was lying to myself for so long about it. And it's just, again, like I have a nice bottle at home, whiskey, scotch, whatever. But it's just for me now, I don't need it. And I went through a whole thing. So like, that's another story I can get into. Like I did the whole vegan diet. And I remember when I went vegan, I got really sick on it. That whole vegan diet. Don't do it, by the way. Please don't. If you're vegan, get off that diet. I was starting to lose hair. That's one example. I remember I was talking to a couple of women. They said they were losing hair, and that made me realize I got to stop doing this. And my hair was a lot longer than it was now. So I realized the drinking, I can do better without it. But like I said, I can drink. Like I was with my buddy last weekend, the guy I actually mentioned before, and we see each other a couple times a year, maybe twice a year, maybe even once a year, right? And anyway, so we had like a beer or two. And I remember even him and I he was telling me, he's like, dude, I haven't had beer in forever. I'm like, and it kind of made me realize, it's like, man, I had a drink last week. I had 4 to 5, maybe 4 drinks, and my birthday just passed. Even my birthday I had 1 drink, but I don't need to have a drink. I don't need to have like a cigar and anything like that to celebrate. I don't need any of that. So I'm thinking now, like I said, I'm going to still drink, but I'd rather do it as a social thing when I'm with a friend. And I'm only usually with one person at a time or 3. I don't like big crowds. I like to be just with a small crowd at a time. It's the same with like sports. That's something I'm going to talk about. How I've come from playing nothing but video games. I've been a very artistic person my whole life, like creative person, and I was not much of an athlete kind of guy. Right? I played. That's going to be a whole other video series I'll talk about with how like what kind of sports. Listen, anybody can play sports, guys, and that's something I'm going to talk about. Just because you're not on a team sport doesn't mean you can't play sports. And the best thing you can talk about, and I'm going to get more into this, which you guys have seen with my whole weight journey, start with fitness. Start going to the gym. You'd be amazed. For me, it was when I went in martial arts. But anyways, another thing too, this does tie in with the drinking. Anyone I've met in the martial arts, they don't drink. There are all these people that had addictions. They all had major addictions. These guys can't even, they were all druggies. And I always hear this so much, even from my instructor. He's like, dude, martial arts saved my life. And that's amazing because martial arts, by the way, like, you want to lose weight, guys, do martial arts. If you're someone who struggles with weight, oh my God, especially if you're going like 3 times a week. See, I don't need 3 times a week. That's a lot of cardio for me, right? And I can't wait to start that up again when I go back. But right now, I've just been doing all my fitness with my weight. And this has been probably the most important thing for me before getting back into that whole field of sports that I want to do, which I'll be talking about in another video for some time. Like in another time. Can't even talk. So I got so many ideas, guys. My brain is just, my mouth can't even keep up with my brain because I have so many things I want to say at once. And that's fine. It's going to keep this channel very refreshing, as I always say. But drinking, guys, again, I said this before. Even now, if I have a drink, I was kind of saying this last time, it's like, nope, I don't drink as much anymore. I don't need a drink. I don't need to have a drink by myself. Yes, there is people who like to drink as the concierge. I'm totally butchering the name, but there's a word sounds something similar to that, but you just enjoy the drink. And I tried doing that, but I don't know. It's weird. Even caffeine. I don't drink caffeine to really enjoy it. Like, I'm doing my workout probably when I get home after I do this video, and I like having coffee. I drink straight black coffee, and it's a nice boost. It helps my muscles as I'm doing my weightlifting, right? My calisthenics. I don't do crazy calisthenics, by the way. I do like pull-ups. I have like a pull-up bar. That technically is a calisthenic, even push-ups or tricep dips. Like those are calisthenics, but I can't do like handstand stuff. Like I wasn't, that's something I just never did. But pull-ups, I love it for strength training and stuff. Sorry, it's just a huge, I heard like a sound in the woods there. But guys, drinking. If you are, there's a lot of people now. Drinking is not. It's starting to not be normal anymore. People are not really drinking as much anymore. Because they know of the bad habits it consumes, and that's good. And people that are aware of that, stop drinking. Same goes with weed, guys. I know people smoke weed to release stress. And listen, I'm not attacking people that do this stuff. If you're doing it casually and you're still acting normal, then continue, right? As long as you know. But I'm just saying, if you feel like, I would really wish I could stop drinking this much. I wish I didn't need to have to worry about having a drink when I get home. It's the same that applies when I told you guys about when I was playing video games. When I was like, I did this whole part where I would only game once a week. This is when I was like, no, I can still lower my gaming consumption. The problem was with that, I would be still thinking about gaming all day long. I would still do all my activities, but the problem was I wasn't present doing those activities. I was still thinking about, I can't wait till I'm done this, and at 9 o'clock, which is about 8 hours from now, that I can play the next mission of the new Halo remake, even though it hasn't come out yet, right? I got out of that. That's why I had to quit gaming, because I was so consumed by it. Because if, like with the YouTube I'm doing right now, if I was still addicted to things, even with like drinking, anything, this applies to anything, semen retention, right? Like the releasing thing, like what you guys gotta, this is a big thing about my channel. I want to teach you guys how to control yourself better. Not saying you have to live your life in fear and you gotta have all these rules. Oh, I can't do the band because no. You'll start realizing that you can still have a life. But once you know and you have full control, I'm telling you. And this is another thing too, guys, with like obsession. I know people want girlfriends and stuff, and this is something guys really struggle with. I know women too, but I feel like men really struggle with this. And that's why you get creepy men. That's what makes women not want to be around a lot of men, because they freak them out, because all the things that men are thinking about are sex, boobs, and pussy. That's it, right? That's all you're thinking about. And like I said, you're still gonna have those intrusive thoughts, guys. They're gonna still come to your mind, but just don't be like, if you're talking to a girl, it's like, hi, how you doing? Yeah, boobs. You're gonna freak that girl out. Why the fuck are you saying that out loud? But that's trying to make a point here, right? But another thing is too, when you're drinking, that's another thing I will say too. I've experienced with, I guess I'm have to talk about this. People that are, when you drink, it makes you want to touch yourself. Because you're so relaxed, right? So your body's just like, oh, I want to have fun doing this later tonight. Like it's, guys, I'm telling you, like, I understand how the male body works now from all these bad intrusive thoughts that have come to my head. But you got to be the man. You have to remain the man, and you got to tell yourself that I have faith in myself. I know I can do this. And like I said, if you have an addiction, even if you're doing it, right, you may not do all this within a month. This could take you a couple months. This could take you even a year. But again, don't use dates. All right. Don't use dates to this, but it's going to be a process a bit, maybe, because I mean, if you say it's going to be a process, it will be a process. Don't do what I did, like in my video I talked about with, I had to get to May 15th. So my lock-in's done for my weight. Everything's been great, but it all happened after May 15th. But see, don't set yourself up. Don't count, and also too, do not count the amount of days you've been doing semen retention or like quit drinking, because you're just making it worse. You're going to cause stress. And then if you somehow do relapse, because it's happened to me, I've relapsed with any of those addictions, drinking, touching yourself, whatever. You're going to be so disappointed within yourself. You're just going to be like, I'm a loser. No one likes me. No, like, you're going to have these horrible thoughts about yourself. Please do not do that, okay? You have the power, guys. Now, that's why I told you I'm going to do that in another video. How to use sexual energy, like, as your gift for creativity. It will help you so much. I promise you on that. But again, maybe that'll be the next video I talk about, because I've already talked about it so much, and we'll get this stuff out of the way and I can move on to another series. So anyways, guys, drinking, it's like, it applies to anything. Just, if it doesn't feel normal, don't do it. And I guess this is like another how to be normal video, but this is more my experience with drinking. Like I said, and that's the biggest thing I did not mention. I did quit drinking, actually, and I didn't drink for almost 6 years. I got back into it because I was so afraid that I was going to fall back. And I had a drink, and I was like, oh my God, I'm okay. But I now want to go back into that and analyze that a bit more and be like, you know what? I don't need to drink alone, because I was drinking alone for a while, right? Because I go out to a restaurant by myself. It's usually what I do. But I don't want to drink anymore, with alcohol. I'm really debating not doing that anymore. Because I start getting those thoughts. You feel great for like 30 minutes, and then you start getting these bad, intrusive thoughts. And I'm just getting tired of having to fight off my old ego when that happens. So maybe I'll have a Pepsi or something like that, right? We'll see. But I'm taking it one step at a time. I'm not going to punish myself. And yeah, guys, I'm making these videos too because, listen, like I said, I've struggled too. Okay? That's why I'm making these videos. And I want people we need more normal men. We do. Because like I said, I'm not a big fan of men. Sorry, I'm just not. So I want to make these videos instead of me yelling about people like, this guy's a douchebag, bro. I don't like him, bro. He doesn't treat his woman with respect. I'm making these videos and trying to teach you guys, like, hey, don't have some respect for women. Have respect for yourself. But once you have respect for yourself, I talked about the whole respect video and stuff. That was more about, making sure you're someone's in comfort, not in danger. But the same applies to having respect for yourself in this, because when you respect yourself, you will be normal. Like from my how to be normal videos. But yeah, just start figuring yourself out. Meditate. Maybe spend an hour a day in silence. It sounds boring, but seriously, do it. Once you know how to be in silence, then you know how to operate this body. Then you know how to operate your mind. Then you know how to operate your life. You may not know every step, but that's okay. All right, guys, I've been talking a lot on this. If you're trying to quit any kind of addiction, guys, drinking, trying to stop touching yourself, whatever, I believe in you. I trust. I know that you guys can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay. All right, guys. That is the end of this ride, and I will see you guys on the next one. See ya.